So today I have the pleasure of speaking with Jennifer. Jennifer, would you like to introduce yourself and your business?
Hi, yeah, I'm Jennifer, and my business is called Jennifer Suzanne Interiors. So I'm an interior designer. I've been working in business since 2018.
Amazing. How did you get started?
So I got started doing my own business. So originally I was a graphic designer, and then I retrained as an interior designer. Yeah, so I worked for as an intern actually. So I started off as an intern in interior design, and then I worked with that business, and then started to set up my own business in 2008. So it's nearly coming up to 5 years. So it seems like it's flown by. And I really love working in interior, so it's something I'm passionate about. So it's a great industry to be in.
Amazing. And what would you say has been your greatest success?
I guess my greatest success is working on sort of more the sort of period style properties. I seem to be one of my favourite sort of properties to work on, and I've recently done a renovation on a 18th century arts and crafts property, and designed all the interior space for that, sort of being very imaginative and creative with interior spaces like that, because they are so characterful and got lots of detail in there, but it's almost like bringing it into the 21st century with sort of contemporary colours and fabrics and furniture lighting. So that's probably one of my biggest successes at the moment, is taking sort of older properties, which I've worked on quite a few now, and sort of bring them a new lease of life. But I also work with contemporary builds as well. But it's definitely different, a style of property that I love working with.
Amazing. I love it. Love it. I've got a Victorian cottage myself, so to know that there's a chance to make it feel a bit more modern is amazing.
Yeah, that's right. I do work with Victorian, Edwardian builds as well. They've got the beauty of some of their sort of characteristics as well, for sort of stand out on their own, don't they? With Victorian properties, you might have like a nice picture rail and higher ceilings, kind of some detailed cornice if you're lucky. So those are sort of the features I like to sort of bring back to life, and but in a contemporary way. Yeah.
Where do you find the inspiration?
So inspiration can come from the client themselves. So whether they're got a piece of art in their room and there's sort of colours that they might want to sort of bring into the space. I also work with lots of sort of high-end design materials and things like that. So it could be that the fact that one piece of material will just stand out with the colours. I like to work closely with my clients, because ultimately they're going to be living in that property. So the inspiration is sort of a working sort of project together, just making sure that it could be there's something that's just inspired, like the room could be facing out to a garden, and then they're inspired by nature, so those colours come in. So that's at the moment that's like a big thing in interior design, is inspiration by nature, organic materials, and like the colours of the sky, and blues and greens are all coming back in. That's definitely where I get a lot of my inspiration from.
Amazing. So since you've started your business, what's been your biggest learning?
Okay, so starting my business, I mean, I've not got a great business background. I guess the thing I've been lucky with is I'm passionate about interior design, so that's where I've sort of brought in all my experiences and skills, and I've always been in a creative background. I've not really kind of steered away my career. I've always been in design. So I've studied in graphic design, got my degree there. Then I went in, studied interior design. So I've just sort of built my knowledge. So I guess it's 20 plus years of experience and knowledge, and bringing that to my clients that basically sometimes struggle to know where to start an interior project. So I guess my biggest business learning is just being myself really a little bit, and just going with that inspiration, those ideas, that creative input, which I guess with an interior designer, that's what you're hoping for really, is to have somebody with those types of skills. And I've just enjoyed growing my business, and it's great experience to be able to sort of set up a business and watch it grow and sort of develop. And luckily we've got social media, which is great to be able to be on social media and talk to my clients there and give lots of inspiration ideas. So I've found that quite beneficial, keeping up to date with social media.
Amazing. And because of, obviously, with COVID hitting and causing everywhere to lock down, how did that affect your business?
So yeah, when I got locked down, it was a bit frightening at the start. I did have projects going, and how I sort of managed that is I'd already done the sort of concept, the design, the inspiration, the mood boards, and the clients already got that. So then I was able to sort of communicate with them. Everyone had to adapt and learn how to use Zoom. So I got on Zoom. I'd speak to my clients that way. I think there was about 6 weeks where I couldn't send any deliveries out, but then they did reopen. Luckily, furniture, my suppliers, were able to reopen and deliver, but we weren't ever allowed to go inside a property. So I had to sort of communicate with my clients and make sure they were at home, to make sure they took deliveries on. So there was a lot of, adaptation, and I also sort of worked. Instead of like going into the properties, I'd speak to my clients via Zoom, and then they would have to send me the room dimensions. So I was, again, having to be quite trusting with the clients, making sure they were giving me the right measurements. And I find it quite difficult, though, to be honest. I love being in the space and being face to face. So adapting to the not being able to go in was very tricky, especially in this industry. But somehow I sort of managed to do a few projects whilst we were in lockdown to be able to continue surviving, really.
No, amazing. So it must be brilliant now that the world's almost back to normal.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, it's brilliant because the shows are back on. We've got the shows in London. I've been to Chelsea Harbour. I've been able to do face-to-face meetings. With interior design, I think you need to be out and about, doing the meets with the clients, and also seeing the suppliers, and we need to be like regularly communicating. So it's much better to be face to face and behind a screen. I'm more comfortable face to face than I am behind a screen, definitely.
No, of course. And since coming out of lockdown, what's been a big challenge that you've had to face, or the biggest challenge?
I guess since coming out of lockdown, it was quite busy. And at the time, I took on an intern, and she's been really helpful because we had a lot more projects. Because usually it's just me, but I'm looking to expand my business. So I've had an intern with me for nearly over 6 months now. So she's been really sort of helping me build, get the projects done a bit faster. She works on the sourcing side of it for me as well. So that's the thing now, is it just keeping that consistent sort of turnaround of projects. And I think a lot of people, since we've been stuck in lockdown, they've been looking at their home and thinking, right, I need to change this, I want this doing, or they've spent a lot more time at home. So now interior design and a lot of tradespeople are very busy at the moment.
Oh, amazing. And then my last question for today really is, looking back at your journey, how would you sum it up in a few words?
Summing my journey, definitely been a big experience building up my business. I found it quite daunting at times, when you've not got a great business background. I guess a lot of it is just speaking from the heart, and I think just going with your gut instinct and making sure that you come across to your clients as professional as possible. I always like to be on time, making sure I communicate well with my clients, and ultimately your business is your baby, isn't it? So it's your business. It's my brand, it's my designs, it's my thoughts, it's my feelings. So I'm just making sure that I put 100% in, really.
No, amazing. You can see that you absolutely love it.
Yeah, I do. I really wanted to get into this industry. I can't see myself doing anything else. I do love it. It's great, and it's all the help and support that we get off all the suppliers that come and they bring with the fabrics, and the lighting companies that bring out and show you all the lovely designs. It's almost like you say, we're all working as a team to then produce the best outcome for the client. And that's the great thing, is there's lots of different suppliers out there that can do like the more sort of low end to the really high end design. So it's working with lots of different budgets as well. It doesn't always have to be so expensive as what people think it is when you're doing interior design. So it's always good to have a budget and be quite sort of proactive with that, really, because then I'll be able to do the best design for your home, really.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Jennifer. That wraps us up. Great job.